The current state of Dragon Ball is a bittersweet one, with the Dragon Ball Super manga on an extended break and no new anime episodes airing following the end of Dragon Ball Daima. The Dragon Ball fanbase has entered yet another drought. It's a familiar feeling for longtime fans, waiting in the shadows between anime arcs, scanning news sites for any hint of an announcement, and refreshing social media in hopes of a new teaser or trailer drop. But rather than dwell on the wait, we thought, why not dive into something that's already complete, often overlooked, and full of heart? A hidden gem that's been right under our radar all along, packed with humor, nostalgia, and classic Dragon Ball action. Welcome to the world of Dragon Ball SD, a bite-sized, super-deformed retelling of the original Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z sagas, served with a heaping side of laughter and chibi-fied chaos. With no new mainline content to tide us over, we've chosen to spotlight this charming spin-off to keep the Dragon Ball spirit alive. But what is Dragon Ball SD exactly? Unlike Daima's experimental tone or Super's escalating power scales, Dragon Ball SD offers a return to the basics. At first glance, it might seem like a mere parody, a cutesy reimagining of the Dragon Ball series with oversized heads and chubby cheeks. But once you crack open the pages, you'll find that it's much more than a comedic spin-off. Created by Naho Oishi, Dragon Ball SD retells the story of Goku's journey starting from his childhood through his battles with the Red Ribbon Army, King Piccolo, the Saiyans, and beyond, all while throwing in modern touches, self-aware humor, and fourth wall-breaking commentary that only true fans will fully appreciate. Not only that, Dragon Ball SD occasionally sprinkles in modern references, like nods to Dragon Ball Z, Super, or subtle character updates, making it a bridge between the franchise's past and present. Don't mistake it for a parody or a total rewrite. It stays pretty loyal to the original events. Goku still turns into a great ape, Krillin still dies, repeatedly. Vegeta still gets clowned on by Frieza, but now it's all presented with a cheeky smirk. There are jokes about power scaling, character tropes, and even fans' own expectations. But before we go any further, let's have a word from today's sponsor, Aura. I'm not talking about Piccolo Aura farming either, even though we definitely see the fit. No, I'm talking about cybersecurity. Just like Goku, Aura won't just sit back and let someone destroy your world. But while they can't suit up and fight Beerus, they can protect you from identity thieves who lurk in every corner. Aura works hard to monitor every single piece of your data that you need protected, making sure that you aren't at risk if there's a data breach, monitoring your passwords and other sensitive data, including your social security number. And if worse comes to worse and you need to pick me up, they've got something better than the Dragon Balls. We're talking about an insurance plan worth up to $5 million to make sure that you're protected no matter what. And while they can't teach you instant transmission, Aura can help you instantly change your apparent location with their VPN, which comes with over 100 countries to choose from. Add that to their secure password manager, antivirus software, and prevention of companies selling your data, and you've got protection even Goku couldn't give you. If you think Aura might be right for you, go to aura.com/dbhype for a 14-day free trial now and power up your internet safety. It's almost as if Dragon Ball is laughing with us at itself, giving us permission to enjoy the ride all over again without the pressure of what's canon or what's next, as we wait and wait and wait for news on the next big anime announcement, be it Super 2, a new movie, Daima Season 2, or something entirely new. Dragon Ball SD is our comfort food. It's not trying to be the next big thing, it's not rewriting canon, it's just here to make us smile. One thing I must make clear to you is that this story isn't totally different from the original story. It differs at some points while also adding a bit of meta humor into the story. But before we begin, if the Dragon Ball drought has got you scrolling endlessly for content, come recharge yourself in our Discord server, Hype's World. We've got fans chatting around the clock about classic arcs, upcoming rumors, and all things Dragon Ball. Come say hi. Join us using the link in the description. The story starts deep in the mountains, thousands of kilometers away from the city, as we see young Goku getting dressed to go out and get some food. However, as he walks down the road, a mysterious car hits him from behind. It belongs to none other than Bulma. Goku destroys her car and asks her if she's a monster too, to which Bulma replies by saying that she's not a monster, but a cute little girl who's out there to search for the Dragon Balls. She asks Goku if he's seen such balls around the area, and Goku tells her that he has one such ball kept at his home. Both Goku and Bulma walk their way to Goku's house. There, Bulma explains to Goku what the Dragon Balls are. She also tells him about her wish to get a perfect Prince Charming of Destiny. Goku gives her a confused look, but then the panel shifts to outer space as we see someone sneeze. It's none other than Vegeta. We see Vegeta, Nappa, and Raditz in Frieza's ship as Nappa asks if Vegeta caught a cold, to which Vegeta replies by saying that it's probably because someone must be talking about him or spreading rumors on his name somewhere in the universe. This is a cool and funny addition, I would say. It makes the story feel more connected than usual. Back on Earth, Goku decides to join Bulma in her search for the Dragon Balls, and both leave for the nearby sea as guided by the Dragon Radar. Pilaf gang has also begun spying on Bulma and Goku. Pilaf wants the Dragon Balls to make a wish for him to become ruler of the world. Meanwhile, Goku and Bulma find a turtle on the coast who's struggling to flip over. Goku helps it out, and thanks to his kindness, the turtle asks him to wait there for some time till he comes back with a reward for him. Bulma wonders if the turtle is going to get a tamatabako, which is a reference to the Urishima Tano story where a boy rescues a turtle and then receives a tamatabako or a treasure chest in return for his kindness. 20 minutes later, the turtle arrives carrying a person on his back. He introduces himself as Master Roshi. Roshi rewards Goku with the flying Nimbus, a cloud that someone can ride and fly to the skies. However, the rider must have a good and pure heart to ride the cloud, unlike Master Roshi himself. Bulma gives it a try as well, but she fails too and falls on the ground. Roshi checks out Bulma's pants as she lays on the ground and admires its beauty. However, Goku rides it with no issues as he comments that Bulma and Roshi probably couldn't ride it because their minds are filled with impure thoughts. Bulma gets mad at Goku and tells him that one day when he grows up to an adult, he'll be just like the other filthy adults, while referencing the scene from the Majin Buu saga where Goku offered Old Kai hot pics of Bulma to get his work done. Roshi agrees that all men are indeed perverts. Just then, the Pilaf gang show up in their mecha suits. They threaten to steal the Dragon Balls from Bulma, but seeing the opportunity, Goku uses his power pole to destroy one of the robot arms, which pisses off Pilaf, so he charges up a beam to wipe out Goku and the others. Roshi steps in and tells Goku to step aside and let him handle this. Roshi buffs up to max power and hits the Pilaf robot with a Kamehameha wave that destroys the robot and sends Pilaf gang flying away. Goku is starstruck after seeing that technique. He begins to imitate what Roshi did and tries to perform a Kamehameha, which surprisingly works out. However, Goku, unable to handle the recoil, falls on the ground, which sends the Kamehameha wave to the skies that again hits the Pilaf gang. Roshi is shocked to see a mere child perform the sacred technique. He then gives Bulma the 3-star Dragon Ball, and Goku and Bulma leave in search of the next one. Goku and Bulma visit a mysterious town so quiet that it looks deserted. However, Goku mentions that he does sense the people in that town. He goes to knock on someone's door, but the resident doesn't answer, so Goku breaks the door to get in. Just then, a man with an axe hits Goku's head. Goku is alright, but the axe shatters into pieces. The residents thought it was Oolong, which is why they got so defensive seeing Goku and Bulma. The resident invites both of them to his home where his daughter treats Goku's wounds. Goku hits her to check if she's a guy or a girl, as taught by Master Roshi. Bulma hits Goku and warns him not to do it again as it might influence good little kids to go around imitating him. Bulma asks the people if anyone has got a Dragon Ball. A lady replies by saying yes, so Bulma offers them a deal where they get rid of this Oolong guy, and in return, they promise to give them the Dragon Ball. The townspeople agree. Bulma plans to get Goku dressed as a cute little girl to lure out Oolong and then defeat him when he's distracted. A little later, Oolong the monster walks towards the little Goku. However, Goku shakes really badly as he's in dire need of peeing. Oolong thinks the girl is scared of his monstrous form, so he transforms into someone very handsome, none other than Zarbon. Oolong is surprised to see another girl, Bulma, come up to him. Bulma expresses her interest in going out with him as she totally has the hots for Oolong now. Oolong wonders that this new perky bouncy girl is too good to be his bride and he should not miss this chance to take her away with him. Just then, he notices Goku peeing while standing up. He goes to confirm his suspicion and is totally taken aback after what he saw. He gets traumatized, wondering why one of those things is on a girl, as he transforms into Zarbon's filthy-looking second form. Oolong realizes it's not the same girl from yesterday and transforms into an angry bull. Goku decides to tame him, but Oolong notices that he's out of time already and runs away from the battlefield. Goku goes to search for him, but Oolong returns to his normal form and fools Goku. After a minute, Oolong again transforms into a huge robot carrying ramen. He's surprised to see that Goku is not scared of his gigantic appearance. To prove that he's not a weakling, Oolong challenges Goku to break those bricks using his bare hands, but Goku does it with a finger alone. Seeing this, Oolong transforms into a bat and then a missile and tries to run away from Goku, but he catches him using the Nimbus Cloud and presents him in front of everyone in town. Bulma gets the 6-star ball, and so they leave to search for the next one. Meanwhile, the Pilaf gang member Shu appoints Yamcha of the Wasteland to defeat Goku and get the Dragon Balls for them. A few days later, as Goku, Bulma, and Oolong head to Mount Frypan for the 6th Dragon Ball, they decide to stop at the Wasteland for the day. Bulma, who has just lost all her hoi poi capsules, becomes restless as she can't spot a person or a hotel as far as she can see. Just then, a young girl appears with a dinosaur chasing after her. She uses her helmet blade to sever its head as she bumps into Goku and the others. She mentions that she lives in Mount Frypan and has lost her way in the desert. She reveals herself to be Chi-Chi and decides to tag along with Goku and the others since they're headed to the same place. Just then, Yamcha and Puar appear and warn Goku that they're about to kill them. Bulma sleeps as Oolong and Chi-Chi hide behind the rocks watching Goku and Yamcha fight. Yamcha hits Goku with his Wolf Fang Wind Fist and sends him flying across the skeleton structures. Oolong gets scared, so he decides to run away from the battlefield by becoming a fly, but Puar transforms into a fly swatter and puts him down. Oolong decides to transform into something strong to help Goku, and as the smoke clears, we find out that he transformed into a Cyberman. Seeing the Cyberman, Yamcha's body shivers in fear and he falls on the ground, striking the famous Yamcha death pose. Chi-Chi asks Oolong why he turned into a weak-looking creature like him, but Oolong says that all he had in his mind was to beat Yamcha, and that's how he turned into this. Yamcha manages to get up and stand strong, and so does Goku from the rubble. He hits Yamcha with his rock-paper-scissors fist and knocks him out. Yamcha charges at Goku again, but then he spots Bulma waking up from her sleep. His face turns red as he blushes to see such a beauty in the desert. He takes Puar and retreats for the time being. After the sunset, thanks to Chi-Chi, they use a Hoi Poi capsule to eat and spend the night. Bulma and Chi-Chi decide to go take a bath while Goku explains to Oolong about the Dragon Balls and the wish-granting dragon that comes out when all 7 are gathered. Yamcha overhears their conversation and decides to use the wish for himself to make him feel confident around girls. Yamcha decides to steal the balls from them, but by mistake he peeks into the wrong window and sees Bulma and Chi-Chi naked and gets blown away seeing their melons. The next morning, the gang decides to head for Mount Frypan. Oolong suddenly remembers a rumor he heard long ago about a super strong, demonic emperor-type guy that lives on the mountain and kills everyone that goes near it. Chi-Chi dismisses those rumors as she spent all her life at Mount Frypan but has never seen such a guy ever. They depart to Mount Frypan, with Yamcha deciding to follow them on this journey. After reaching Mount Frypan, they find out that the castle of the evil Emperor Ox King is engulfed in flames. Bulma asks Goku to try and reach the castle using the Nimbus Cloud, but it's just too hot. Just then, a gigantic shadow approaches Bulma and Oolong, who's revealed to be none other than the Ox King. The Ox King recognizes the flying Nimbus from Master Roshi. He asks him if he knows where Roshi lives, and fortunately, Goku and Bulma do have an idea of where he lives. Ox King dances out of excitement and requests Goku to get the Bancho fan from Roshi to put out the flames around his castle. In return, he'll give them the Dragon Ball they seek. Right then, Chi-Chi wakes up from her sleep and comes out of the truck. Turns out Chi-Chi is the daughter of the Ox King. Bulma and Oolong do the math and understand why Chi-Chi dismissed those rumors of not knowing any evil emperor at Mount Frypan because it's her own father. Chi-Chi grabs Goku's tail to get on top of the Nimbus Cloud, which weakens Goku completely. This helps Yamcha discover Goku's weakness. Goku and Chi-Chi ride the Nimbus Cloud to Master Roshi's. Goku explains to Roshi that he's there in search of the Bancho fan, but he doesn't remember where he kept it. Doubting if he's the real Master Roshi, Chi-Chi throws her blade at him, expecting him to dodge like a real martial arts expert, but it hits his head instead. Roshi shows his driving license to prove his identity to Chi-Chi, which makes her feel very sorry for jumping to conclusions. However, that hit made him remember where he kept the Bancho fan. Goku and Chi-Chi prepare to leave as Roshi asks Goku to come to his place for training after he's done collecting the Dragon Balls. Using the Bancho fan, Chi-Chi puts out the fire, but the gust of wind was so powerful that it ended up destroying the castle as well. Chi-Chi asks Goku to come take her as a bride when they grow up later. Goku doesn't understand what she's talking about, so he replies to her in a positive tone. Chi-Chi asks him to promise her that he'll never forget her while referencing the 23rd World Martial Arts Tournament when Goku couldn't recognize Chi-Chi and forgot about his promise of making her his bride as well. Meanwhile, Bulma uses her Dragon Radar to search for the Dragon Ball in the rubble. She and Yamcha spot the ball at the same time, but Pilaf gets his hands on it and steals it from them. Bulma gets pissed and decides to track down Pilaf's location and get the Dragon Balls from them. Yamcha offers her a ride in his car as it'll be faster. They bid their farewell and leave Mount Frypan to go after the Dragon Balls. Pilaf reveals that he's got 2 Dragon Balls on him, and Bulma has collected the remaining 5 and is now headed towards his castle. We can notice in the background that Pilaf has collected the original Dragon Ball manga volumes on his bookshelf, which is a funny Easter egg. Goku and the others finally arrive at Pilaf's castle. They sneak their way in, but Pilaf traps them in walls and puts them to sleep to steal their Dragon Balls. After a while, Pilaf decides to summon the dragon and get his wish granted. Yamcha and Goku keep trying to break those walls, but all their efforts are in vain. Goku decides to use a Kamehameha on the wall, and it opens up a big hole, but not big enough for them to go through. Yamcha notices that Pilaf hasn't summoned the dragon yet. Yamcha and Bulma ask Puar and Oolong to transform and go out and steal one of the balls to stop Pilaf from making his wish, but they're too late. Pilaf summons the dragon, and Shenron appears to grant his wish. Bulma and the others think they've lost, but an idea comes to Oolong. He runs off to get near to the dragon and asks Shenron to get him a girl's panties. Shenron grants Oolong's wish and disappears as the Dragon Balls scatter around the globe. Pilaf gets mad and captures Oolong once again and puts everyone in a thick metal-walled room. Pilaf announces that he'll execute them all the first thing next morning as a punishment for coming in his way of world domination. Goku keeps on trying his Kamehameha and Yamcha with his Wolf Fang fist, but the 300mm thick metal walls are just unbreakable. Puar and the others look at the moon and start talking about it. Goku tells them that a giant monster comes out on full moon nights and wreaks havoc around everywhere. He also mentions that his grandpa got killed by that great monster, but he's never seen it as he was asleep. His grandpa always told him not to look at the full moon, although he never understood why. Bulma and the others start connecting the dots with Goku's tale and the full moon monster that killed his grandpa. They think Goku might be that monster, but then dismiss the thought as it's too wild to be true. To check if they're right, they make Goku look at the full moon. Goku doesn't move as he keeps looking at it, with his eyes going all red. His heart begins to beat at a faster rate. And then, he finally transforms into a great ape, breaking the prison ceiling. He starts running amok and destroys the castle inside out. The Pilaf gang runs for their lives. Puar reminds Yamcha that Goku's weakness lies in his tail, so Yamcha grabs onto it and asks Puar to transform into a pair of scissors to chop it off. After removing the tail, Goku reverts to his normal form, and the sun rises, marking the beginning of a new day. Bulma and Oolong wonder why he has a tail. Maybe he's an alien. Oolong theorizes that Goku might be a soldier sent from a distant planet inhabited by an alien warrior race who entrusted him with the mission of exterminating all Earthlings. However, one day he accidentally fell into a valley, hit his head, and forgot his order to exterminate the Earthlings. He was raised as a normal child, even though he was born as a Yazaijin on a vegetable planet. Bulma comments on how detailed Oolong's theory is, and we as fans know it is true. Naho Uishi quite cleverly put this Easter egg here. Goku wakes up and finds out that he no longer has his tail. That's where the chapter ends. And there you have it, folks, the first part of the wild, hilarious, and surprisingly heartfelt ride that is Dragon Ball SD. As we've journeyed through this chibi-fied retelling of Goku's early adventures, it's clear that Naho Uishi didn't just shrink down the characters for a quick laugh. She packed this spin-off with clever Easter eggs, self-aware humor, and nods to the broader Dragon Ball universe that make it a treat for fans old and new. From Vegeta sneezing in space because someone's talking about him, to Bulma's quip about Goku turning into a filthy adult with that Majin Buu saga callback, to Oolong's spot-on and suspiciously detailed theory about Goku's Saiyan origins, Dragon Ball SD is a love letter to the franchise that doesn't take itself too seriously. Naho Uishi clearly had a blast sprinkling these gems throughout the story, and it's up to us fans to catch them all. We'd love to hear your thoughts, so drop a comment below and let us know which Easter egg, reference, or joke from Dragon Ball SD in this video was your favorite. Did anything catch you off guard or make you appreciate the franchise in a new way? And don't worry, this isn't the end of our Dragon Ball SD adventure. The next part is coming soon, and we'll dive even deeper into this underrated gem. Will Goku and the gang keep stumbling into more meta mishaps? How will Yamcha's crush on Bulma play out in this chibi chaos? And what other surprises does Naho Uishi have up her sleeve? We've only scratched the surface of the spin-off's charm, and there's plenty more action, humor, and nostalgia to unpack. If you enjoyed this video, smash the like button, hit that subscribe button, ring the bell, and stay tuned for the next part. Thanks for watching, see you next time.